Okay, it's finally getting chilly here in Tokyo, and I'm totally stoked about that. Anyways, I want to talk about what it's actually like, these are clean, to be a multi-passionate creator, artist, online, doing things, trying to build something. So if you're looking for validation, feeling like you're just the only one, I promise you you're not. Because the truth is, when you're multi-passionate, you are able to hyper-focus on specific domains for a specific set of time, but inevitably your focus is going to just shift to the next thing, and it can feel like you're just creating confusion for maybe your audience, or your friends and family are concerned because you're constantly changing your identity and what you're doing, like what you're trying to build, and like you don't even know. And it gets frustrating sometimes because you really sort of wish that you had a single lane, or like a concise mission statement. Be like, this is what I do, this is who I am. But alas, these are the things I do. These personas are who I am. It'll never change, I think. I have noticed though that as I keep exploring, because I think that's really a big part of being multi-passionate, is you're constantly exploring. Like, you're extra vulnerable to shiny objects. Sometimes they stay for a weekend, sometimes a few months, and some will become like permanent fixtures in your brand, mission, life, whatever your goal is. And that's exciting. That's another unique layer to add. But I think even the 2-week stints of passion projects, weekend side quests, those have a role and a purpose, but yeah, we're extra vulnerable to that shiny object situation, and that's, you can unpack that in a lot of ways, and I think that's a lot of people. It's not just multi-passionates, right? So like, that's a big reason I don't focus on growing like a personal brand or choosing a niche. Obviously, I focus on creating a lifestyle, or sharing a lifestyle. And I talk about that in my other video, which I'll link somewhere. And that helps me kind of reframe my approach to building myself online as a multi-passionate artist. Because some days I do this, and other days I do that. Today I'm doing the studios vlog, which is me just sharing my breakthroughs and process, and hopefully helpful insights about being a solo creator, but also a multi-passionate artist online, trying to build something, because that's what you're supposed to do. No, it's actually fun. It's really cool. We live in exciting times, but when you're juggling multiple passions, it feels like you have like creative ADHD. And I don't like, sometimes the maths, I don't want to jump on the trend train and say that's what's going on here, but there is a strong inability to focus sometimes. Like, I know I should be doing this project, but instead my focus is on this other passion. So what happens is you end up rotating through all these different multiple passions of yours, and in your wake you leave multiple unfinished projects, and you feel like nothing gets done, or if it does get done, it's like very slow. And that leads to slow growth, because you feel like you're not creating a cohesive identity or a cohesive audience. Again, another reason I like the lifestyle approach, because Gary Vee talked about this recently in his videos. I think he's been talking about it for a while, but basically he's been on a rant, like just post random stuff, and everybody knows this, you are the niche. Share everything, because that's what works. So like, I love that perspective. For me, I frame it as a lifestyle, like share your lifestyle, because that'll attract the right people. But still, being multi-passionate leaves unfinished projects, scattered brain, and confusion. But it's hyper creative, and it is fun. and I can't imagine abandoning any parts of me. I don't know if anyone else has this random quirk, but I don't know if it's attached to being multi-passionate, but I love starting like the concept phase of like another mini micro brand. Like I have bought so many domains and even like claimed like YouTube channels, handles, thinking just because the name is cool, I'm like, I could do something with this. This could be a cool project. What should I make with it? And that leads to even worse scattered multi-passionate situation, because suddenly I go from like one day where I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on this one thing, and then I'm like, yeah, but this is a really cool domain. Like I could make like a productivity app. Yeah, I'll head over to like vibe coding and I'll learn how to do that, which I may or may not have spent like 4 months going down that rabbit hole. But my point is, being multi-passionate means your circle, your focus loop is constantly like breathing. It's very dynamic, where new things will come in and like you'll feel extra scattered, where you're like, I don't know, like everything is like super shiny. And then there will be seasons where it does shrink and you feel very focused. Right now I feel very focused-ish. I mean, maybe to some people I'm not, because I have this channel, which is more like entrepreneurial, I guess. I don't know. And then I have my other personal brand, which used to be like fractured into 3 different websites and channels and accounts. Because I had one for music and art, I had one for travel blogging, and then I had another one for, what was I starting? Oh, like I think I separated the music and the art too. Like, and then I had a friend tell me like, dude, just do it all. I was like, what? Yeah, but I have all the domains and I have the accounts. I can't just collapse everything back into one, changing my handles again, confusing more people. It's so funny. I get messages on Instagram. They're like, I'm never sure like which account to send. Is this the right account to message you? I'm like, I don't know. So I've been on a crusade for the past like 6 months of just shrinking everything back down to one account, one domain, one personal brand, me. And this is where the lifestyle brand perspective came in, because it is all me. It is authentically, honestly me. Yes, my lifestyle is sometimes I'm traveling. I'm in Japan right now, so I like to talk about that. So I have a travel blog because it feels like this cathartic journaling thing. And inside the travel blog, I talk about being a creative overseas. So that's a real part of my lifestyle. And then like, so is my music. Like I'm constantly writing music and trying to grow that side. But then I'm an artist too, because I love art, and I just started doing digital art, and that's like something I'm really curious to explore, right? I've never done digital art before, so this is my first attempt. My friend very graciously gave me her, or lended me her iPad to play with, because I'm used to just like sketching on paper, and that's a huge part of who I am. And I've been struggling my whole life with finding ways to layer like all the things together without sounding too confusing. So when people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a travel blogger, artist, musician, guy who lives in Tokyo and likes coffee. And sometimes makes videos about all that on a different channel. This one. I don't know. It makes sense to me. And I think a gut check is like, do you feel stressed and overwhelmed, or are you having fun? And kind of ignore, if you can, I know it's stupid advice because it's almost impossible, but if you can ignore the metrics, because like this channel, like my past 2 videos have had like 1 view, which was me. But if you can ignore the metrics and really just lean into like, does it feel right intuitively? Are you having fun? Because maybe you're in the exploratory phase, and maybe that lasts for a couple years, and that's okay, because the more you dig down into growing and like scratching the itch of these passions, some of them will probably come out ahead. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I used to be like scared of it, because I had this like in my head of like, I need to be a musician, I need to be an artist. I've learned to just let go, and I'm exploring all those things as my lifestyle and sharing it. I need to get better at sharing it, but I'm pursuing all the things that I love honestly, and I'm open to whatever path reveals itself. And maybe that is all of them working together in some interesting way, exactly how I'm doing now, and it's just, that's what it is. Or maybe the art just works for me, and I find myself doing that 80% of the time. Inevitably, I'll never stop being multi-passionate or making music, but like, the point is, I don't want to box in the online persona and the brand and the opportunities that come with that, because it is a really exciting time. And I think being multi-passionate, the whole niche brand identity issue caused me to overthink everything. I just turned into like an armchair creator because I wanted to craft the perfect persona before I started creating, because I didn't want to, I don't know, create the wrong audience. Does that make sense? Where like I would focus like a month or 2 months or 2 weeks posting like art process videos, and then suddenly like a travel vlog. You can't do that, or can you? I don't know. I think you can. It's kind of like my move right now, lifestyle brand again. So yeah, that's what being a multi-passionate is about. It's like you're kind of overthinking all the time, and also deeply passionate about a variety of things that in your own mind you see them connect sometimes, and then sometimes you don't see them connect, and you're worried that other people are going to be confused. So you end up freezing and glitching, or lots of unfinished projects, you know, new passions entering and exiting, old ones leaving. It's breathing, very dynamic. But in there, look for there's through lines, there's brand themes. It's you're the through line. It's your lifestyle, you know. So we're not broken. I think this is our moment. We're special. we're special snowflakes, just like everybody else. And I don't know what this rant's about. I think it's just validation and maybe a hint of insight about just do it all, explore it all, listen to your intuition, be a lifestyle. Don't worry about being in a niche. Don't worry about confusing people. People are gonna fuck with you, are gonna fuck with you, you know, and it's, you know, people that resonate with what you're doing, whatever it is, whatever vehicle you're packaging your vision and personality and values and perspective on life, whatever that looks like, whether sometimes it's their travel blog or music or art, it's gonna reach the right people. That's the idea. And I think that's where we're at right now, content strategy wise. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm focusing on. And, you know, so join me and let's do this dang thing together, you know? And yeah, so if you're like a multi-passionate creator and or a solo creator, artist, wearing many hats, consider liking, subscribing. That's what I talk about here. That's just how to manage the multiple versions of you, right? So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go write a travel blog, but first I'm gonna write a song real quick. No, I'm gonna finish some artwork. You know what? We'll talk about it next time. Later. Bye.